Hey everybody, and welcome back for another match of Wargame European Escalation. As some of you may know, these are pre-recorded, so I get some time to just talk about stuff. Now, which team was I on for this game? Warsaw Pact, so we should be over here. So I picked this game because I thought it was showed quite a lot of good positioning, and let's just zoom down. So let's just speed up for a little bit more so then I can tell you about the troop composition. This was a beta map, so I don't think I'll have to explain much. Fairly small sized map. It looks like they were supposed to do something over here, but I guess it never made it into the full game, or maybe this is a campaign map and paused. Perfect. So my troop composition is pretty similar as last time, mainly main battle tanks split into two and some armored APC carriers. I find myself using these Polish ones now because they're really cheap and you can bum rush them. Command vehicle, some long-ranged anti-aircraft missiles. I find these working much better than the flak cannon, so I bought some of those, and I bought some T-2660 2Ms, which have the rocket, which is fairly accurate and does a lot of HE damage, and it has quite a lot of range, so that's why I buy them. My teammates opted for a mass wave and another mass wave of helicopters, and what I did was speed this up some more. I think I cap Boris, or yeah, I think I cap Boris, but then I realized that he caps it. But the good thing is that I can roll to Elena, so that's what I do later on as soon as I find that they have quite a bit of arty. Right there, depending on how long this video, I might be able to cover multiple games. So I buy some more anti-aircraft to support myself right there. And I put most of my troops inside the forest here. That's where they'll stay for now. So this road here is actually quite vulnerable if you're playing as NATO, or if you start in this province, this sector. I'd highly recommend garrisoning this little forest here. It gives a great shot at the woods, which will be devastating. And our friends here hit their FOB pretty hard, knocking out quite a lot of targets, forcing his leopards and some stuff to pull back, but we do see that they have a lot of these gazelles, which are quite powerful compared to the hinds, so he pulls them back. And that's also a great maneuver to do, strike the enemy's base. Now I'm moving on, slow this down. I'm moving on Federer right now, and I see his armored command vehicle here. My original plan was to bring everything through the woods here and attack him, and to pretty much pluck the infantry down on this road, so that when his reinforcements come in like now, we'd be able to hit him and get my tanks on the main line hitting his stuff inside the middle of this. But then, speed this up, I realized that he has a lot of troops there, and chances are is that these little cars can be used more effectively, so I pull them back, and I use this ridge here, this slope, to my advantage, and you'll see why in a couple of seconds. So he pulls his helicopters back, speed this up, slow it down, speed it up, slow it down, speed it up, speed it down. There we go. And what I do is that I position my infantry on the slope, so he's moving his tanks up. His tanks can't fire at me yet, and my infantry have a range of 700 meters with an accuracy of 8 and an AP power of 11. That's going to be devastating if he tries to get across this ridge. So he stops right there. He knows that he's going to die as soon as he crosses that ridge, and he also brings these helicopters in. Now we don't have a lot of anti-air here, we just have a few units. And I think this is the game-winning play right here, because while his tanks can shoot at the tanks over there, his accuracy is going to be much lower, especially because these are unveteran units. He made the big mistake of buying Leopard tanks without veterancy, and so are the helicopters. So now he brings his helicopters in, and my small arms are able to fire on them. Before we only had about 2 AA units, and now our AA potential is much greater. And you can just see my infantry here getting some veterancy while they're doing this. And it's quite devastating. So I'm pretty much waiting for my tanks to move up. He's already got his blitz going on, and eventually I charge my infantry in. But for now they're gonna sit on the ridge. Yeah, he's buying unveteran tanks, and he has a mast in one position, which is quite bad. Even though the small arms fire from the M3s, I think, yeah, these are only just machine guns. It doesn't do damage to the tanks, but on veteran units, it does quite a lot of suppression, which is pretty bad. Notice how the units are going to shake and all that now. Let me click the stand button. He also has some Panzer Grenadiers here, which I was pretty worried about. Bringing on some more infantry. That gets quickly handled by a variety of things. I have my missiles here. They're doing quite a lot of damage to them. I really love these units, especially when they have first tier veterancy. It doesn't seem like they have a lot of accuracy, but they're just devastating. So I'm pretty much putting my tanks on the ridge, bringing them up first so that we can take them on. And they can kind of draw some aggro, but then I noticed that he has a lot of Panzer Grenadiers, so I charged my BTRs in first, followed up by the infantry. I know that, let's pause this and take a quick recap. So he has 2 points left. Cheriton is gone, so we don't have to worry about that. That means that he has 1 form of reinforcement, which is here at Gregory, and another point here. That's a total of 2 command vehicles inside the battlefield right now, and if both of those are gone, he loses. So what I do is that I bring up my infantry to kill these Panzer Grenadiers, and I bring up the APCs to act as meat shields. As you can see here, they only cost 7 Polish APCs. Are just like that. They're fast, don't have guns on them, and I didn't actually notice this at this point. It was until my APCs drove up until I noticed that command vehicle, and I brought all of these tanks to fire on it. So as you can see, these tanks are just going through the lanes, and this opponent's actually quite smart. He doesn't prioritize these infantry carriers. He knows that I've deployed my infantry, so he's pretty much just gonna let them go. I stand corrected. That's another mistake he made, bring these Panzer Grenadiers to fire at those meat shields, or metal shields I guess, as opposed to firing on the actual units. So eventually, yeah, we take out his comms vehicle, and that's about it. Now they still have Gregory. I'm not sure. Yeah, it gets recapped fairly soon, so they still have 1. At this point, our units are committed to the fight here. If we pull them out, it's not going to matter much, so I call them up and pretty much say, bring your helicopters into Gregory, and he has a few helicopters somewhere. Yeah, right here. We can't see the chat. That's cool. Well, anyways, he brings his helicopters and takes out Gregory, and that's the end of this battle at 8 minutes. This is actually rather short. I'll show you guys 2 more fights afterwards, showing off some commitment to battle. Don't have a really good word to say it. I guess commit. Yeah, you had to commit to a battle once it started. So he brings his helicopters over here to the side and meets quite a lot of resistance, but he hammers that comms vehicle, and in the end we win. So that's the game. Admittedly, this team, they don't have a lot of high ranked people. So it was a pretty easy win for us. I showed these games off simply because which one was it? House High was the one we did, so it's this one. Show these games off because I think they show off some good tactics as opposed to people's rankings skill. So this is a ranked 1v1 I have with this NATO player here, so let's speed up the build. And my plan for this map was to go for Charlie and Golf. In ranked 1v1 you have a 1500 supply point cap, so my plan was to send a small force over to Gulf and pretty much to rush that to India and deny them this side of the map, whilst another force would go to Foxtrot and cap that, because I figured that Gulf would be mine anyways and securing it isn't a very large priority that I have. Charlie is good, but it's only 4 as opposed to 5, so figured Foxtrot would have been much better. And you can see here that I always buy some of these. Oh wait, no, I packed. Whoops. Yeah, I was going for Charlie, and plan's still the same. You get that. So this is my side wave of units still. Info units. I'm buying some of these T-55s, which have surprisingly accurate guns at 7 accuracy with veterancy. That's increased. More of these Polish infantry, and they're pretty devastating. Always putting a recon vehicle at the front of my lines. I was originally planning to garrison Juliet, and that's why I had this comms vehicle and the HEGM and the SAM missiles. The only real different thing is these UAS recoilless rifle units. They're fairly cheap, as you can see here, with veterancy of 4 at only 20 points. So I figured, I mean, it doubles the accuracy, or I think triples it. I'm not sure about that, but I know it definitely doubles it. So I think it was quite worth getting these because they have quite a good range, matches the tanks, and I send them up along this road. And I also bought some helicopters here. Helicopters are always nice. Let's put it on my perspective. Let's lower that speed. So this is gonna be a really short game because it ends at like under 4 minutes, and the only thing that I think really shows out well in this video is prioritization and committing to a battle. So here I am. I found his scouting unit. And he sees me, so he rains down an artillery barrage rockets. The only unit that gets taken out inside that group, notice how he has 200 points, is my comms vehicle. So at that moment, let's see, I have a side force going to Charlie. There doesn't look like there's much inside Charlie. There's no helicopters buzzing around, so I can assume that that place is going to be relatively safe compared when I think about how much arty he has, because those rocket artillery do cost quite a bit. I have a force here mainly made out of infantry, a couple of tanks, and they have no real goal now since they can't secure Juliet. So what can I do here? I originally send up the BTRs along the road and try to rush his base and either take out his comms vehicle, because I expect him to only have either 1 or 2 of them, or take out the artillery. Both will be fine in my book. So now we have two attacks going on inside. I have to wait until the game slows down, so I guess I can do this. So I try to rush my troops down this road to find his comms vehicle, and I see it here, so I know where I'm going to attack. Now he has quite a few tanks here. Our main force is still here. I have quite a lot of heavy units there, so I made the decision to break down the column here, give these guys some chance, give this squad some a chance, and fight these Sheftons, which are fairly expensive tanks. So now my main battle tanks arrive on scene I deploy some more helicopters, and this is a good angle to hit those Leopards, so I bring those tanks up while just moving them forward to take out the comms vehicle. This way I can fire off some shots at low accuracy. Yeah, these are 150 apiece. And I bring out these tanks to pretty much distract the enemy, and he goes for them for some reason, so that's a mistake on his part. While at the time, these are really accurate tanks. They don't have well, they have stabilizers, actually really bad stabilizers, but stabilizers nonetheless. So right now we have a group that's trying to buy them time. I'll send in the anti-aircraft guns, and as soon as they get into quite a marginal range, we are able to take that out. And this is the end-game result. I have another video I'm going to show off exact same thing on a different map. This one I did today, so my memory should be a little bit better. And I am native this time, so I buy some. This guy's actually ranked 11, so I figured he has a little more experience under his belt compared to my earlier games. So what I do is I buy some flak panzers and some VABs to prevent him from hind rushing me. And on this map, there are quite a few different plays we can make. We can either go for Delta and Golf for the resource, or Foxtrot. Now, because of the 1500 resource cap, I figured it would be much better to go for Foxtrot because it's only 1 point less and we get the reinforcement bonus. So I buy a armored recon because I figured he's going to be bringing in his tanks en masse, as Warsaw Pact's doctrine is just like that. I bring some flak panzers, some VABs, more of those famous troops, and some more tiered up Leopard tanks, and I also buy some Gazelles. Gazelles are just amazing at raiding the enemy. Most players on this map like to move their forces kind of like that. If you can see my mouse, yeah, pretty sure you can. They bring them over to Gulf and then through the woods here. Switch this onto my perspective. So, I mean, that works, but I don't find it very helpful in hiding your gunships, so I bring those over there. I start capping Foxtrot. I want to put some flak panzers in the command vehicle in the bushes here, and my general plan is to set up, like I said earlier in this video, set up here with the infantry so that if he tries to fast move with this road from Bravo, we can intercept them here. I'm lucky in a sense that he didn't go for Delta, where else my plan would have been ruined. And I wanted to spread my tanks on the line here so that if he was to try and cross from the front, then he would also get devastated from multiple firing points, always shooting from his flanks. Alright, so what I do here is that with Gazelles, they're fairly fragile. They don't have a lot of health, as you can see. So I see this gunship, and he knows that I'm going for his base. So I split up my helicopters. At this point, there are pretty much two options. You either put your comms vehicle here or back here, and we only really need one squad of Gazelles. So I see his comms vehicle. I ignore the Havoc. The Havoc isn't going to do much. And there it goes. Those Havocs don't do anything on air units. It's the rocket pods are good on ground units, and that's about it. So I maneuver away from that. My heli took quite a bit of damage, but it's alright, and I go for Bravo. I see that he has some tanks in the field, so I start setting up pretty much. And my helicopters are still going. He has some Tungastas. My helicopters eventually do get eliminated, but that's alright, because I found out where his comms vehicle is, and just as I'm about to start hammering it, he takes me out. But the thing is that we know his comms vehicle. We have very fast APCs here, so split second decision there, and I rush him in using this road. And that was the plan. So you can see the helicopters moving, the APCs moving, and the helicopters. But he unleashes some rocket fire on me, and because of that, I figured it's pretty much all or nothing at this point. I'm committed to a battle. I need to go forward with this. If I don't, I'm gonna lose very, very badly. So I bring in forward my tanks. They're taking fire from these two pockets of T-72 tanks. He knows what he's doing. He splits these up, but he doesn't buy veterancy for his troops, and I smoke these right off the bat. Now, you saw back there how that rocket artillery actually caught some of my VABs, so instead I split the column into two, and I drop some here just to take out this armored recon, which will be able to take out a little bit of stuff. I see that he has a second command vehicle, so I drop both infantry squads. I should have only dropped one, but eventually I packed up the... no. I think what I do is that I take both of the APCs and I drive them into the back. Buy some more Gazelles, because they do wonders in terms of taking out tanks or suppressing them in some Hot 1 versions which have the ATGM. Yeah, I move up my APCs along this road. The infantry are soaking up these Tungustas, and if he was to fire on me with those Tungustas on these APCs, then those APCs would have been dead, so luckily he didn't, but he does bring that Havoc helicopter into the fray. Good thing is that as soon as I pull into the forest, at his current position, he won't be able to see my VABs. So the command vehicle actually doesn't have any armor, so small arms fire will damage it, and if you're playing 1v1, I guess that shows you either get like a squad of infantry and some anti-air to protect your comms vehicle, or buy an armored one. So these APCs come in, devastated, and that's game. That's GG. And that's the results right there. Well, that's pretty much it. I'll see you guys next time.